And joining me right now here on the Mark Moses Show is the only gentleman who can join me on Friday to make our official Wildcard Weekend Picks. The man who I've been texting all season long for NFL advice. He is my brother, the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew Moses. Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I got my unbiased T-shirt on for these picks.
I see
Doing
that.
great.
The best. Okay, for our listeners, and if you're watching this, the best is this shirt I've seen multiple times. And every time I look at it, I go, hey, your nephew Jaden has that same shirt. And you're like, I bought him the shirt.
I bought this shirt. We all have it except you. It's a
I need
great
the
shirt.
shirt as well. Is that what
Okay.
this is? Okay.
This is a plug for Dick's Sporting Goods to go get
That's
your shirt at.
that's exactly what it is. Okay. Did you enjoy, even though your team won 5 games this year and we're now at the playoffs before we get to your picks? Do you enjoy everything that happened for the last, what is it, 17, 18 weeks or so? Did you
It it
enjoy it?
it felt like 4 years. I did enjoy it. I knew the season was over when a reporter asked Caleb Williams in preseason, in training camp, how are you handling this adversity? And he answered that with a straight face. And I said the season's over in my head because all season his body language was awful.
Mm.
On the outside, it looked like he was not handling it well. The season is hard for us to swallow because you don't really see the progression. We're gonna feel like we're at step one next year. So hopefully we'll get the coach right, and it will just feel like next year is year one, honestly, because I don't feel like we really progress as a team. So we'll see how it goes.
My biggest concern with your answer, even though you're going positive, is covering the Jacksonville Jaguars. I went through this before where they drafted Trevor Lawrence and
Mhm.
Urban Meyer was his coach in year one, and it was a train wreck. Meyer leaves the team, gets fired. You're like, oh, we'll get him a real coach. 4 years later, they're still not sure on Trevor Lawrence, Andrew.
Yeah, I think Matt Eberflus knew the other players on the other team. I don't think Urban Meyer did, but
That's absolutely true. No, you're not kidding around.
so
He asked his assistants, who are some of these players on these other teams? That
yeah,
is a true story.
I don't think he knew Aaron Donald was, which was shocking. But yeah, but back to the Bears. I'm excited for the head coaching search, and
Are
hopefully they'll
you
do a good
also
job.
are you also going for the coach? Are you in a coaching candidate? Because it appears everyone
I
is.
Yeah, I had a 15-minute Zoom with them the other day. I thought it went great. We
Did
really talked. Me and Kevin Warren talked about the suites that are going to happen in the new stadium that will never happen.
Mhm.
Um, I just am a football guy. I know how to call timeouts, clock management. I'm
So
there.
now I'm laughing. I feel like Rick Moranis in Little Giants is also going to interview for the job. That's what
I,
needs to happen. Just interview
I,
everyone if you can.
but also really quickly, the saddest part of the Bears was
Mm.
the exit. Was the statements being made about how we need someone to like right the ship with how we act around here. And the older I get, the more I think that they're kids, that they're young and they're inexperienced, and it's like who's running the show. And if I said that, I would be embarrassed at myself. If
Yes.
I said I need a coach to make sure I'm not goofing off, I would be embarrassed. So I don't think that really was a good spotlight on the Bears. And I if I'm one of these coaches, I look at the organization, I look at the players, and I'm having second thoughts about going there. So
Well, what's interesting with the Miami Dolphins, and we're here with my brother. We'll make the picks here 1 second. I just wanted to get this off my chest. So Tyreek Hill has the breakdown in the last game of the season. Like, I don't want to be here. Get me out of here. I'm done. I think they sat him down and said, hey, buddy, don't ever forget, you're still going to make $30 million dollars and you live in Miami and you already won a Super Bowl ring. And now he's like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to be all right.
yeah,
Yeah, everything's fine. I don't play for Seattle or Arizona. I'm going to be okay. I
yeah,
am.
yeah. Like how in basketball games where the coaches get the cheat sheets in the mid and they look and they go, oh, this guy's going 3 for 4. I think his agent Drew Rosenhaus gave him that cheat sheet and said, oh, here are the taxes in Miami, and wait, here's how much you're making, and just you're good, you're fine. He
Let's
made the
get to
choice.
our
Yeah,
picks. Let's do it. Moses and Moses like we're a law firm. Let's do it on a Friday. First game, 4:30 with the kick. And yes, every time the Houston Texans have been in the playoffs, they've played the first game on Saturday. It's their time slot every wild card weekend. They're home against the Chargers. Chargers favorite on the road by 3. What do you think of this game, buddy?
Yeah, this is probably the least exciting game because I don't feel like either of these teams can make it past the second round. How I break it down is I look at their overall season. I go, hey, Chargers are favored. When you look at their win-loss, I don't really see like a signature win. I don't think they had a big-time win against a big-time team. I also look at their losses. When they lost, they couldn't run the ball. Every time, I think a few of their losses, they had 40 or less yards rushing. They lost all those games. Not super pumped. I don't think they have the weapons yet. I think they're a year or two away of really competing. But they made the playoffs, so I think it's a successful season for them. On the other hand, the Texans, they do have a win over Buffalo, which you got to look and go, hey, they won that game. They do have a signature win against the Bears. That was a joke. And going into the playoffs, I just their momentum I think is down. I'm not really hyped on them, so I think the Chargers will win this game.
Okay.
I think the coaching is going to be good on both sides. Harbaugh's going to be better, control the game, and I think the Chargers are going to win this game.
Do the Chargers cover the 3 points?
You never know. I don't like betting lines. I usually, just do who's going to win the game. I mean, do I think it'll be 10-9? No.
That's a yes
At
then.
3, if it's 2.5, sure. I mean, the line's at 3, so you either push or you win. So I would do Chargers -3, but I would rather just do the money line with Chargers.
I'm going to go against you. We were in this situation last year where Cleveland was red hot going into the playoffs with Joe Flacco. I know that's a crazy thing to say on air.
Yeah.
That is what happened last year. I'm taking Houston at home in the upset in a
Wow.
crazy game. I don't trust Herbert in a big spot. He's been in one playoff game. What was that, 2 years ago at Jacksonville when they choked? I know Harbaugh's a great coach. I think the shock, I'm going with Houston for the win and the upset. I'm going against you on this.
Wow, we didn't even plan this.
No, we did not.
We did not plan this.
Let's go to the next game. And I hate this for any team. Third time division matchup. Steelers and Ravens. I know the Steelers, they had the losing streak to end of the year. What was it? Baltimore beat them big a couple weeks ago. Here's the line. Baltimore at home, division champs, 9.5 point spread. What do you think of this matchup, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, this is a good matchup. I mean, anytime the third time's a charm, you kind of go 2 divisional opponents who know each other, who play each other. Ravens got the 4-game win streak going on. Steelers got the 4-game losing streak. I'm big on momentum. Wilson's really trending down. They are 1-1 head-to-head against each other.
Yeah.
So the Ravens, their signature stuff is Buffalo. They beat Buffalo. They beat Washington. This one, I'm going to pick the Ravens. 10 points, I don't know. When it's interdivisional, I think it's going to be a closer game, even though I think the Ravens are probably my Super Bowl pick to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm going to pick Ravens. The 10 points, I think win by 10. Who knows? I think Ravens are going to win this game, though.
I agree with you, Andrew. I'm taking the Ravens as well. I do not like the 9.5. I'm not taking that either. I think Baltimore is going to win this game, but I think it's going to be crazy. Does Justin Fields come in this game somehow? I say yes, some capacity. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, there can be different avenues of him coming in. Either can be a spark. I know they do run some option stuff towards the end of the games. I think they did that a few weeks ago to end the game with Fields running for a first down. Wilson's the wild card. I mean, he's trending down. Does he get pulled? I don't think so, but
No.
if they need some kind of spark, I wouldn't put it past them to put Fields in for a few plays, just try to get him running and get him going.
What do you have to lose? Lamar Jackson, you think of Lamar Jackson's stats were over 40 touchdowns. What was it? 4,000 yards passing, He is a stud. And then you have this. This is what I'm going to do. If I am Baltimore and this is a close game, feed that ball to Mr. Derrick
Yeah.
Henry. Feed him that.
I,
Feed him 25 times if you can.
I think they're still questioning the play calling last year in the playoffs. So I think hopefully they've done some introspection and said, hey, if we can run, let's just run it down their throats. But we'll see how the game goes.
I agree. And I said this yesterday. If I'm Pittsburgh's defense, now I'm not calling for bounty gate like it's the Saints. You better hit Lamar Jackson a couple times early. Get him on his keister and really set the tone like he did in the first game. Let's go to Sunday. Broncos and Bills. Buffalo's an 8.5-point favorite. Buffalo rests their starters last week. What do you think of this matchup, Andrew?
This is going to be my upset. I got an upset. I'm going to take the Broncos. I have been known to be a Josh Allen hater in the past. He is entertaining, just football wise, not personally, right? Bills are 9-point favorites. Signature win. They did beat Kansas City. You don't know the Allen factor. He's apparently won the MVP already, even though I think Lamar Jackson's above him. The Bills have momentum. The reason why I take the Broncos, Sean Payton, I think the Broncos and Bo Nix are what I wanted Caleb Williams and the Bears to be. They don't really have like a huge signature win. They're progressing with Bo Nix. Can he put it all together? And I think Sean Payton will be the X factor. And I'm going to take the Broncos at least covering. And I have them to win the game. So that might be an awful take in 1 week, but I'm taking the Broncos as the upset.
Okay, you know what? I'm going with you then. Let's have chaos. I'll take the Broncos as well. Let's do it. I'm just happy, and so is the NFL TV executives, that the Dolphins didn't make the playoffs to then lose this game by 55 points. All right, we're taking the Broncos in the upset. 1 o'clock with the kick there from Buffalo.
Don't clip that because it might age poorly.
That's this whole show. What are you talking about?
Might age poorly.
The game, I already know your pick, but we're going to do it anyway. We're here with my brother here on a Friday making our Wildcard Weekend Picks. Packers at the Eagles. I'm still not sure the status of both quarterbacks in this game, but at this hour, Eagles now by 5 points at home, 4:30 on Fox. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, the Jalen Hurts, the concussion stuff, Jordan Love. I don't even know what it was officially. Was it he hit it like his funny bone was out versus the Bears for a little bit to finish that game. Eagles won head-to-head.
And Brazil to start the season.
Yeah, I mean, Eagles have, they beat Baltimore, they beat Pittsburgh. Packers 1-5 in their division. They played Super Bowl contenders, Minnesota, Detroit, lost, split with their Bears. Bears
you
games.
To bring that up. You can't help yourself. You can't. They went 1-5 in the division.
1-5 in the division.
1-5.
That was embarrassing. I mean, the special teams, especially for the Packers, did not look good against the Bears. I know they gave up the, I call it the Johnny Knox touchdown, return for a touchdown punt. Shaky. I'm going to go Eagles winning this game. Covering, who knows? The Packers could cover. Overall, I just think the momentum for the Packers is down. Did not like how they played against the Bears. Love is the big question mark. I mean, even when Love plays, Love would make these plays where he'd make like a Will Levis play where he's like falling down and throws the ball for an interception. Love has to play well if he does play at all. And I hate the Packers. I am biased, and I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Well, the Packers last year at this time were the hottest team in football. And remember, they start the wild card round destroying Dallas, should have beaten the Niners. They're also missing their number one wide receiver, got injured in that game against the Bears. Again, who's starting at quarterback? I think the X factor, and I think this guy should be top 3 for MVP. Saquon Barkley, get him the football. And do you think he should have played in that final game of the year to go for the record? That's my question.
There's always hindsight. I'm sure he wanted to play. You get killed either way. You didn't let him get the record. Excuse me. If he gets hurt, you're an idiot. Yes. I think they do have good coaching in Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia's going to win this game, and Barkley could run for 100 yards. Who knows? I think it's going to be entertaining, but yeah, Eagles for sure. I think are going to win this game.
Eagles at home, and this is my thing. You didn't play Saquon last week. You better play him this week. He better get the
Yeah.
football. Like, and look, they have other weapons. They have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. They have a lot of weapons. I want you to know this. My coworker Rachel's big Eagles fan. I was saying this yesterday. She's like, oh, Tyreek Hill, he's not happy. Well, he should join the Eagles. And I'm like, excuse me, you've stolen enough players. Okay, stop for 5 minutes. Calm down. Oh man. So Eagles in this one. Let's go to the big one here for Central.
And really,
oh, go on.
I was going to say, I'm really happy the Bears passed on Jalen Carter. I just want you to know that.
Oh, I know. And they could have gone Saquon. It all comes back to your team, Andrew. It really does. Here's the big game for Central Florida. This is going to be a fascinating one. Sunday Night Football. It is Tampa Bay favored by 3 here on a Friday. Commanders at Buccaneers. Who do you like?
I mean, the Buccaneers are so crazy when you analyze them. I have no idea what team is going to show up. I mean, the Buccaneers' signature wins, Detroit and Philadelphia. I love Baker Mayfield. I'm a huge Baker Mayfield game. I think even the last game against the Saints, they showed the play where they're losing and he like instigates a fight on purpose to get his team riled up. I think the Bucs are going to win this game. I like Jaden Daniels, but it's interesting. Commanders won head-to-head. It was week 1. I think the Commanders do have some momentum. I just like Baker Mayfield better, but I also don't know what Buccaneers team is showing up. So
I agree. Look, I've watched them all season for 17 weeks. Like you said, they beat. So okay, they beat Washington. They beat Philly. They beat Detroit. They win all these big games. Then they have these dud games as well. The Cowboys, they don't show up. They lose to the Broncos. You're like, what are you doing? I like Baker Mayfield as well. I think they're going to get the win. I do. I know the TV executives want Washington to win. They're going to be hyping they are. I think Buccaneers. Do you think they cover, though, with that tight point spread?
Gosh, I think it's +3 Commanders. So I think the Bucs will win by more. So that's a hard, the points is hard when it's so close. If it's 2.5, I'd be more open to taking it. But Buccaneers, I think, are going to cover this game.
Okay, Buccaneers, yes. I'm taking Bucs as well. I feel like Tampa Bay is going to win this game. I think they have momentum, but I would not be shocked if Washington wins. I really would not. I'm not. And then the TV, newspaper, every media nationally, they're going to be losing their minds. Hyping Jane Daniels if he wins this game. So it's going to be interesting. Let's end with this. And we're still not sure at this hour, with all the fires going on right now in Los Angeles, Vikings, Rams, supposed to be in LA. They might move it to Arizona. We'll find out. Minnesota favored on the road, 14 and what were they? 14-3. They're favored by 3. What do you think of this matchup?
Wow, wildcard matchup. I think the game will be moved to Arizona. Vikings are tough. Have you ever seen the momentum switch on one player and one team so quickly? I mean, 1 minute Sam Darnold's getting $50 million free agency from Minnesota or some other team. The next minute they're like, "Oh, can Daniel Jones come in and play?" That is not a good sign. Vikings did play Detroit well. I mean, they lost to Detroit twice. They only have 3 losses. And who are those 3 losses to? Detroit, and LA. So
that's nuts.
That is crazy. Rams don't really have a huge signature win except the Vikings and San Francisco. Rams momentum is going up. Vikings, obviously, from playing Detroit, is going down. The Vikings, I've watched them. They make no sense to me. First down, they'll run for 9 yards. Second down, they'll bomb the ball 50 yards down the field. I don't understand them. I don't understand their play calling. I think they have great weapons. I like their coach. I like Sean McVay, though. I think I like Matthew Stafford. So this is my upset in the NFC. I had one in the AFC. This is my other upset for the NFC. I think the Rams are going to win this game.
All right, you have the Rams. I'm going with Minnesota to go against you because I'm trying to beat you this weekend. So All right, those are our picks here on a Friday. Let's go. I'm going to recap. My brother has Chargers, Ravens, Broncos, Eagles, Bucks, Rams. Is that locked in? Is that what you're going with?
That's locked in.
I'm taking Houston, Baltimore, Denver, Philly, Tampa, and Minnesota. That's my picks to go against you. So that's what we're going with. I know it's freezing there. What are you going with?
We've never had a brotherly rivalry before. This is our first one.
Yeah, and I'm not I'm not doing this corny like, oh, you need to dress up in my alma mater's jersey at the press conference Monday. That's super corny. I'm not doing that either. But you're going down. You are. You're gonna have like mayors where it's like, oh, you're gonna have to send us your favorite cupcakes if you lose. It's so corny. It really is. All right.
So, I think if I sent you snow, would you guys have a mental breakdown down there? I don't know.
We're having a mental breakdown with 35-degree weather. Okay. The snow, if they had snow here, just start the Mad Max music because it's all over. Okay. Andrew, thanks for coming on. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you.